Last time on Spartan Sasuke.
Alright, one more for Smokey. Smokey, spray tops. No, Smokey hits us out, he's out! No, it's over! He accidentally spray jumps and that cost him everything!
It's 2018, and today marks the 11th tournament of Spartan Sasuke. Since Smokey's Kansensei Hot in Tournament 8, the Grand Renewal has been attempted and failed 100 times so far. Now 50 competitors are ready to shine and take their shot at reaching the final stage and becoming the third Grand Champion. Do any of our competitors have what it takes to do that? Or will our competitors plummet into the drink like before? We are about to find out in the ultimate survival attack, Spartan Sasuke! Let's go. Let's kick off Tournament 11. 50 competitors, all wishing to become the first person in the Grand Renewal to reach the final stage. Will that be this tournament? We are about to find out. And let's kick off this tournament with newcomer Shindu 3. He's otherwise known as Reality's Awesome on Roblox, so let's see how he does here on Spartan Sasuke. Oh, and he completely flopped. Alright, next up we have his friend Xanderbaum, and why is Shindu suddenly wearing red? I have no idea. Maybe the water washed away his yellow. Here goes Xanderbaum. Oh, and he completely bombed his course. That was a failure. Alright, our first returning competitor, Princess Pink GX, and the reason there's no music is because our last two competitors failed so hard that the music has decided not to kick in. Come on, Princess Pink. Yes! Kick in the music. Let's get this party started. The first obstacle on this stage 1 is the dome steps. This obstacle is new to Spartan Sasuke. You have to jump across 5 curved steps. You have to try to land high, otherwise you're going to slip right off. Princess Pink GX, she's through it. And yes, it is a she. I did make a mistake in the last tournament. And this is what she failed in the last tournament right here, the gunslinger. Oh, it's getting away, but she resets the ball. Going back to that reset boundary. Alright, here she goes on the obstacle she failed last tournament. Then jump into the pipe. No, she doesn't get it and she's out. That is tough luck. Alright, next up we have Bondable Apple 4. He was better than War Number 1 in the last tournament. He made it to the swing bridge. Let's see if Bondable can do better today. Alright. He's on to the gunslinger now. His ball's getting away, but interesting strategy by Bondable. No, but it doesn't pay off. He fails to get into the pipe as well. Alright, 5th competitor, Cheese's Life 5. Kind of fits his gamer tag, and coincidentally, it's his 5th appearance. Too many 5s. I don't know why. Anyways, Cheese's Life 5, easily for the dome steps. Probably the best we've seen anyone do that so far. Alright, he's on to the gunslinger. Can he be the first through this? And yes, he's through it onto the swing bridge. This obstacle has proven to take out so many competitors in the past, but Jesus' Life making it look easy there. He's on to the jumping Kai. This is where he failed last tournament. Can he overcome it? Jeez. No, he doesn't crouch and he's out. Alright, time for our first Fast 4. Ninja Warrior 718 becomes the next victim of the Jump Hang Kai, failing it just like back in Tournament 9. Mumble Spardardi makes his first appearance since Tournament 8 and fails the dome steps. And Magical Unicorn makes her first appearance on the course, and she fails on the gunslinger. Alright, next up we have H&W Superman 68. This guy previously competed on Smoky Massacre's course back on the Master Chief Collection. This is his first appearance since then, and he's slipped off the first tap. That is a shame. Alright, on to Wolf Ninja 1225. This guy, I achieved total victory on his course. I'm very proud of that. Very, very, very proud. Alright, back to the run. Wolf Ninja, 80 seconds to get through 8 obstacles. He's taking these dome steps quite slowly. This is the only thing different on the first stage since last tournament, these dome steps. Everything else after the dome steps is exactly the same as it was in Tournament 10. Wolf Ninja, ooh, it's gonna have to reset that ball there. It's gonna cost him some time, but I think he's not worried about clearing. I think he's more so worried about this next obstacle, the swing bridge. If he can get past this, he'll set himself a personal best. He's never made it past it in Spartan Sasuke. Well, today he changed. No, he overshoots the 4th one. And that's the 3rd tournament in a row where he's failed the swing bridge. That is a shame. Next up we have Garchomp. This guy said he was going to retire in Tournament 9. He failed the jump hang then. Well, I guess he decided to pull a sneak killer and decided to randomly come back. But anyways, Garchomp. This guy has cleared stage 1 before, back in Tournament 7. He made his debut back in Tournament 5. A little bit of lag there on the gunslinger, but he's onto the swing bridge. Hopefully this lag won't affect him here, and it doesn't. He's onto the jumping Kai. Can he be the first through this? This is why he failed in Tournament 9, but he gets the mount onto the first ledge. Ooh, almost comes up short on that second one, but Garchomp first to get to the crooked wall this tournament. This took out DHG Fireball in the last tournament. But Garchomp makes it through and he's onto the warped wall with about 30 seconds left. He almost gets up it on his first go, but not quite. Fails again on his second go, a little bit of lag there, but he's up it in 3 onto the giant swing. Can he get through this? What? What just happened? Okay. The swing just rejected him. Judges? Yeah, they're saying it's legitimate, because look here, he's not moving with the bar, he's just kind of hanging back, and it just kind of slung him like that. But this is not the first time we've seen this. We saw this back with DHG Fireball in Tournament 9. The same thing happened to him, however, he was able to recover from that. But this is just an absolute shame. But had he been moving along with that bar, I think that could have been prevented. But that is just a shame to see Atlantic go out that late in the stage. Alright, next fast forward, Mr. Tree 557 fails the dome steps. And then the Aztec for whatever, worst gamer tag ever. And then Noble Panda 1000 fails the dome steps. And Sneak Killer 7 fails the dome steps. First obstacle, first time he ever failed the first obstacle, of course. Alright, next up we have Colin the Potato. It's formerly known as Colin is a Potato. Yeah, he used to be just a potato, but now he's the potato. Let's see how he does on this course. 80 seconds. He's halfway through the dome steps. There's someone watching him, I believe it's Talking Chain, or could be Rondo. Anyways, Colin, he did pretty well in the last tournament. He got all the way to the giant swing. Let's see if he can replicate that success and hopefully become our first finisher of the tournament. Definitely stands a good chance. Let's see if he can pull it off though. He's onto the jump hang Kai. Going for the left side, but he gets the mount into it nicely. Onto the crooked wall. We just saw Atlantic get through this. Can Colin get through as well? No! He doesn't get nearly enough height. He turned way too early there. Alright, next up we have possibly an even worse gamer tag than that one guy from earlier, Ice Hiss. This guy is making his 4th appearance on the course. How come he hasn't been banned off Xbox is beyond me. Anyways, Ice Hiss. I apologize to our African viewers for that horrible gamer tag. And he shoots the soccer ball with his Spartan laser. Where he got that Spartan laser from is also beyond me. Anyways, he gets the mount nicely into that tube, onto the swing bridge. Oh, he hits the first ball a little early. Oh no! Oh, he stands on it and it's swinging around. And oh, he comes up short on that 3rd one. Oh wait, no! Oh my God! What was that on the swing bridge? That was just absolutely insane what he did there. But he's a little bit short on time though. He only has 25 seconds. I'm not sure if he's going to have enough time left to finish the course. And he's out. I want to go back to that swing bridge run there. That was just absolutely insane what he did there. He stood on the second ball while swinging, comes up short on the third one, and somehow saves himself on the fourth one. That was just absolutely insane for a competitor that hasn't been really done well before. Alright, but now let's move on to Mighty Max 80. This guy achieved total victory in Sasuke Adventure Tournament 2, and the reason he's now regular again is because I regret to inform you that I have cancelled Sasuke Adventure, and I just haven't found much motivation to continue the dirt tournament, so I won't be doing any more Sasuke Adventure tournaments from here on. Who knows if I'll bring it back in the future, possibly on Halo 6, I don't know. Anyways, Mighty Max 80, he went out on the crooked wall in the last tournament of Spartan Sasuke. And he's about to attempt that again here. Let's see if he can get through it. Mighty Max gets the jump into the head slide onto the warped wall. This guy's personal best came in his debut in Tournament 7 when he failed a flying shoot. But if he wants to get his first clear, he's going to have to get up the warp wall in this very attempt, and he does. He's going to have to hurry, though. He only has less than 20 seconds into the giant sling. Hopefully he won't get cheesed unlike Atlantic, and he does not. Onto the vertical plank. Come on, you got to go faster than that. The claps and sound, you got to go, climb. Come on, Mighty Max, go. And come on, it's going to be close, and yes, Mighty Max 80. With a little more than a second remaining on the clock, becomes our first finisher of the tournament. Mighty Max 80 becoming the 25th different competitor in Spartan Sasuke to clear the first stage. And look at him go, conquering the crooked wall he failed in the last tournament, getting through that giant swing nicely, becoming our first finisher of Tournament 11. Well done to Mighty Max 80. Alright, next fast forward. Webbier Dawn fails the dome steps, and then MLG Player and Fire both fail in that obstacle, but an aroused Duck managed to get past the dome steps unlike those three, but then he does quite possibly the stupidest thing you could possibly do on the Gunslinger, is not go back to the reset boundary and instead walk on the track, thus disqualifying yourself. What a move. Alright, next up, we making his fourth appearance, we have Killer the Man. Let's see how he'll do today. Killer the Man, 80 seconds to get through 8 obstacles. Onto the third step, looking into the fourth. Alright, one more for Killer, and he is through the dome steps. Onto the Gunslinger. How will he do on this obstacle? He's hanging a little bit back, but almost comes up short on that pipe, but he gets through it nevertheless. Onto the swing bridge, and he's through it. Onto the jumping kai. Let's see if he can get through this. Killer, yes, he's into the jumping kai. About 40 seconds left going into the crooked wall. He's good on time if he can get up the warped wall with about 20 seconds left. That's about how much time you want left on the clock if you still want to clear, but Killer the Man comes up short. He's going to have to get up it here, but no, he doesn't. He's really short on time, less than 20 seconds. He may not have enough time left to clear now, and he comes up short again. This is not looking good for Killer the Man, and he finally gets up it with less than 10 seconds left. He's lagging it all over the giant swing. No, he comes up short. And he would have run out of time anyways, so wouldn't have done good anyways. Alright, on to our next competitor, Snoz, making his 9th appearance on the course. This guy has not cleared since Tournament 3. However, he did say that he has not seen the Tournament 11 course at all prior to his run. And he didn't choose to do any practice before his run either, so this may cost him here if he wants to get back to Stage 2. Alright, Snoz onto the Gunslinger. Failed this back in Tournament 9, came up short on the pipe. Snoz gets through it today onto the swing bridge. Let's see if he can get through this. Snoz, he tubs up short on the first one, and it screwed him over. Alright, let's fast forward. Our 3 competitors all failed the dome steps, and then not Philip failed the jump hang kai. And next up, making his first appearance since Tournament 2's, oh god, Ninty 7 Grizzlies. This guy has not competed since Tournament 2, like I said, and he is considered by many to be the biggest noob in the whole Halo jumping community. But not a big enough noob to fail the first obstacle. Alright, he's on to the gunslinger now. Ninty, he's not getting roll when he shoots it. He's gonna have to go back to reset the ball. My god, this is why I don't invite Ninty to my courses anymore. Because of stupid crap like this. My god, just next run, please. Alright, next up we have Little Vane. He's the only one of the Vanes competing in this tournament. Big Vane won't be competing in this tournament, unfortunately, despite clearing stage 1 in the last tournament. Alright, so it's gonna be up to Little Vane to carry the Vane name in stage 1. Little Vane into the swing bridge, keeping good control of these golf balls onto the jump hang kai. He has a lot of time left, 50 seconds going into that first ledge of the jump hang kai, and Little Vane is through onto the crooked wall. See, can he get through this? No, he doesn't get a jump, and he's done for on the crooked wall. Alright, next up, the finisher, Talking King SS1. In the last tournament, he got his first clear and went out on this third obstacle in the second stage, the escape launch. The escape launch is no longer there. It's being replaced with a new obstacle, which we'll get to once we get to the second stage. But Talking King onto the gunslinger. Will he be able to clear stage 1 for the second tournament in a row? Going a little bit slow on this ball here. That might cost him some time going into the swing bridge. Talking King, not known for being really the fastest competitor on these courses, but he's into the jump hang kai nicely. Alright, onto the crooked wall. This wasn't a problem for him in the last tournament. It shouldn't be a problem here, and of course it's not. 30 seconds left going into the warp wall. Will he be able to get up this? Talking King up it and won nicely. Using that side there. I'm not sure why he does that, but he's onto the giant swing, keeping good control of that bar, and Talking King looks, if he can get a good pace here on this vertical plank, he'll get his second clear in a row. And Talking King SS1 clears with 4 seconds remaining on the clock, clearing stage 1 for his second tournament in a row. Well done to Talking King. Probably one of the most dedicated jumpers in recent Halo jumping. Moving back on to the second stage, hoping to set himself a personal best in this tournament. He'll get a crack at that later. Talking King SS1 moving on to the second stage. Alright, next up we have King Sparkety. King Sparkety is making his 10th appearance on the course. He's competed in every tournament since his debut in Tournament 2. However, he's only cleared the first stage once, back in Tournament 5. And ever since then, he has only passed the third obstacle once in the past 5 tournaments. So King Sparkety has been plagued by mediocre performances, hoping to get past that today. But he's onto the swing bridge. This is what he failed before back in Tournament 9. Oh, and he comes up short on the third one, and his plague continues, unfortunately. Alright, next up, also making his 10th appearance, we have an Epic Reshiram. An Epic Reshiram has had 4 first stage clears. His last, unfortunately, came in Tournament 7. He hasn't had much luck on the first stage. Since then, he hasn't cleared a stage 1 in the Grand Renewal since. An Epic Reshiram, if he fails stage 1 in this tournament, he'll be deranked to a new rank, Roblox Kid. And the footage kind of freaking out there. It's kind of going a little fast, but an epic Reshiram onto the Jumping Kai. And he jumps too early, and he has earned the rank of Roblox Kid. Congratulations. Alright, next fast forward. The next 3 competitors after an epic Reshiram was not able to have much luck. Especially this one, Ornate752. He just kind of stood on the first step and just kind of walked off like the noob he is. And then Air Blackened also failed the first jump. Alright, next up we have the host of Ninja Warrior of Roblox. Making his 3rd appearance on the course is Bubba Ace 37. He made his debut in Spartan Sasuke back in Tournament 9 when he failed the first obstacle, long jump. And then made his next appearance in the last tournament where he went out on the swing bridge overshooting the 2nd golf ball. Now let's see if this Roblox legend can get his first clear in Spartan Sasuke. Will 3rd time be the charm for the Ninja Warrior of Roblox host? 80 seconds to defeat 8 obstacles, and Bubba aces off. Taking that first step a little bit carefully. Started the crowd following him. Alright, Bubba looks into the 4th step. Into the 5th, and Bubba through the dome steps nicely onto the Gunslinger. Keeping good control of that soccer ball. And he almost jumps too early on that dismount there. That could have been a disaster. But Bubba, he comes up short on the first ball and he's out. Alright, next up, regular Gotenks. This guy's making his 5th appearance on the course. He's never cleared stage 1 on Spartan Sasuke. However, he has made it to the final stage 3 times on the Smoky Massacres course. Will he be able to finally bring that same success to this tournament of Spartan Sasuke? Gotenks onto the Gunslinger. Let's see how he does here. Gotenks keeping good control of that soccer ball. Onto the swing bridge. Onto the first ball. 2nd ball. 3rd ball. 4th ball, and he's threw it onto the Jumping Kai. Getting a good run up. Can he get this mount here? Yes, he does. Gotenks approaching the crooked wall with 37 seconds left. Let's see how he does here. He gets a good amount out of headslide. Ooh, a little bit of lag there, but he's able to get through it nevertheless. Onto the warped wall. Ooh, he doesn't make it up here. He's gonna have to get up here if he still wants to have enough time. But no. This is not good for Gotenks. He's failed it again. Only 15 seconds left. I don't think he's gonna have enough time now. Ooh, 10 seconds left. This is not good for Gotenks. 5, 4, 3. He's gonna make another go on it. And no, time up. Gotenks out of time on the warped wall. That is a shame to see him go out like that. And Slightly Evan fails the dome steps, and then Calcraft107 does quite possibly the stupidest thing on the Gunslinger. Maybe not as stupid as Ninty, but he jumps all the way back.
I always feel confident, but I have a lot in this course, unlike a couple of the other courses. So I'm still going in confident, but I should not take it too overconfidently, like I take the other courses, I guess.
The first All-Star to take on the courses tournament is Alpha Puma. Alpha Puma is one of 4 competitors to have competed in every tournament of Spartan Sasuke. His last clear came in Tournament 7, and he has unfortunately failed Stage 1 3 tournaments in a row after that. Tournament 9 going out on the giant swing, and in the last tournament failing the Jumping Kai, putting on his personal worst performance in Spartan Sasuke. Alpha Puma will be trying to get his 6th first stage clear today in Tournament 11. Trying to get above that 50-50 clear threshold. If he fails, he'll go below the 50-50 threshold. A little bit of lag there. Puma is on his old connection here, so lag could very well be an issue for Puma here in this run. Alright, Puma's on to the Gunslinger. Puma has been known to be very laggy on these courses. Most notably back in Tournament 5. He's gotten several reruns in that tournament because of that. But let's see if Alpha Puma can overcome the lag here in Tournament 11 onto the crooked wall. Alright, Puma. A little bit of lag there, but he's through it nevertheless. Alright, 30 seconds left going into the warp wall. Ooh, doesn't get up it in one. He's going to have to make another go here. And he's up. He's up it now onto the giant swing. This is what he failed back in Tournament 9. Come on, Puma. Ooh, he's taking it back a little, but nice recovery. Fighting through the lag. And Alpha Puma is going back to the second stage. Cleared with... Ooh, he hasn't hit the buzzer yet. Alright, he's cleared with 5 seconds left on the clock. Alpha Puma moving on to the second stage. Fighting through all that lag. Alpha Puma. Nicely done here in Tournament 11. Fighting through all the lag. And Alpha Puma will be moving on to the second stage of this tournament for his first time since Tournament 7.
I'm actually feeling pretty confident going into the course. I guess the crooked wall is a big factor if I beat it or not. But everything else besides that, I'm feeling pretty good on beating stage 1.
Our next All-Star to take on the course's tournament is DHG Fireball. DHG Fireball has also competed in every tournament of Spartan Sasuke. The DHG Fireball cleared in all the first 4 tournaments, but in tournaments 5 through 7 he hasn't had much luck. But in tournament 8 that would all change when he would make it all the way to the final stage. But unfortunately after that, his streak of unsuccess would continue as he would run out of time in tournament 9 and failed the crooked wall in tournament 10. DHG Fireball put on his worst performance in the last tournament. Let's see if Fireball can bounce back from that. He'll have 80 seconds, get through 8 obstacles. DHG Fireball, the All-Star, also wanting to jump above that 50-50 threshold like Alpha Puma. Can he do the same? DHG Fireball onto the Gunslinger. Getting that ball rolling. It's going a little bit slow at the moment, but through the ball nevertheless onto the swing bridge. Through the second ball, third ball, fourth, and he's through onto the jumping kite. These bouncer obstacles has never really been an issue for Fireball on Spartan Sasuke, and it's not today. Onto the crooked wall. This is what he failed in the last tournament, and Fireball gets through it now. Alright, DHG Fireball onto the warped wall. See, he's up it in 1. 30 seconds left. Plenty of time going into the giant swing. A little bit of lag there, but nicely through the giant swing onto the vertical plank. Plenty of time left as he's going up the plank, and Fireball clears with 14 seconds left on the clock, and DHG Fireball is back. Both Alpha Puma and Fireball haven't cleared stage 1 in a long time, but that changed today, and the success would continue after Fireball's run, as Could Be Better got his second first stage clear in this tournament. Could Be Better, formerly known as iGame Types, will be moving on to the second stage, as well as those last 2 competitors.
I'm feeling decent, I guess. I don't know. Last tournament was good. Nice comeback. Feels pretty good to be back jumping, but stage 1 has always been rough for me, but who knows what happens.
Next competitor to take on the course is the veteran Weapon Matt. Weapon Matt made his debut back in Tournament 2, where he would make it to the second stage. He would then make it back again in Tournament 3, however he'd go on a very long streak of unsuccess, but that would change in the last tournament when he cleared the first stage for his first time since Tournament 3, going out on the backstream on the second stage. Alright, Weapon Matt making his 8th appearance on the course, hoping to get his 4th first stage cleared today. And looks like he's spelling out his name with the battle rifle. That's a clever intro, if I've seen one, right there. Alright, on to his actual run though. Weapon Matt, let's see if he can clear stage 1 again. Hopefully he can prove that clear in the last tournament was no fluke. Weapon Matt, onto the gunslinger, keeping good control of the soccer ball. Hasn't really been any issue for him these early obstacles. Weapon Matt through the swing bridge, onto the jumping Kai. Good bounce into it. Alright, he's halfway through the jumping and he's now out of it. Alright, cricket ball. It's never been an issue for Weapon Matt. Ooh, he almost comes up short there, but he makes the jump into it. Nevertheless, alright, he's up the warp wall in 1. Giant swing now. Keeping good control of this bar. Gets the mount nicely onto the vertical plank. And Weapon Matt is about to get the fastest time so far. 20 seconds remaining. He cleared with in under a minute. Weapon Matt completely dominated this first stage. Just completely destroyed every obstacle that came in Weapon Matt's way. And Weapon Matt, if he doesn't get to the 3rd stage for his first time this tournament, I will cry. Because that was an absolutely dominating performance by Weapon Matt. Nicely done.
I'm very confident. I've been practicing a lot. Lately, so I just hope for the best.
Our next veteran to take on the course's tournament is Siren. Siren has made his debut back in Tournament 2, where he would go out on the Domino Hill on the 2nd stage. His next came in Tournament 5, where he failed the curtain pling, and he wouldn't make it back to the 2nd stage until the last tournament, Tournament 10, where he would make it to the backstream. In this tournament, he pulled a crazy technique where he would skip all the way to the dirt bouncer. However, it would not pay off as he would come up short. Siren making his 9th appearance on the course, trying to get to the 3rd stage for his first time in Spartan Sasuke. Siren coming out of the Hannibal Mantis. He's always been known for coming up with these crazy intros for his run. Siren gets his weapon, the Brute Plasma Rifle. And Siren will have 80 seconds. Let's see if he can clear just like in the last tournament. He has cleared once in every era. Once in the first era, and then the complete renewal, and now in the grand renewal. Let's see if he can clear again here in the grand renewal era. Siren onto the gunslinger. He failed the swing bridge back in Tournament 9. He's about to face this obstacle again here. Siren, ooh, he almost comes up short on that second ball, but nice recovery onto the jumping Kai. He has struggled with the jumping spider before, back when it was in the complete renewal, and he's out! No, Siren has failed to jump hang Kai. He comes up short on the bouncer. Let's see what he did wrong here. Yeah, it looked like he jumped too late there. That is a shame.
Well, the course is, practically the same. So I feel alright, it's just doing it I'm a bit worried of, so I'm hopefully just going to try my best and get to the 2nd stage.
The next competitor to take on the course's tournament is the finalist Strafe Felix. This is Strafe Felix's 8th appearance on the course, and his best performance came back in Tournament 7 when he would make it all the way to the final stage. In the last tournament, he made it to the second stage, something he couldn't do back in Tournament 9, but unfortunately went out on the backstream, failing the second stage for his first time. Stray Felix, the finalist. He's one of two competitors, both him and Flame Vortex, in contention for the next All-Star spot. Could that be determined this tournament? We are about to find out. Stray Felix nicely onto the Gunslinger, and he is allowed to step on that top platform. You are allowed to do that. You're just not allowed to touch the angled track there on the Gunslinger. Anyways, Stray Felix, a little bit of lag going into this jumping high, but he's through it nevertheless. Ooh, a lot of lag going into the crooked wall. Hopefully this won't affect him here, and it does not nicely. Alright, 40 seconds going into the warp wall. He's trying to go for the fastest time here, trying to beat Weapon Mat's time. That'll be a tough task to do, but Stray Felix nicely onto the vertical plane. Will take a little bit of time. A little bit slow here. May not get the fastest time now. No, he's not. But spring jumps all the way up like he did back in Tournament 10, but still a nice time. 18 seconds remaining. Or 19, I missed it. Anyways, Stray Felix, 7th competitor this tournament to clear the first stage. And this, what he did on the Gunslinger, is allowed. He is allowed to step onto that flat track. He's just not allowed to step onto the angled track. And then, just like in the last tournament, he spring jumps, skipping the 5th step of the vertical plank and clearing. Moving on to the second stage.
Yeah, spin bridge, jump, hang, and crooked wall. Like if I get past the crooked wall, I'm beating stage 1. Yeah, just the middle stretch.
Our next competitor to take on the course this tournament and our other in contention for the rank of All-Star, Flame Vortex 03. Flame Vortex 03 is making his 7th appearance today on Spartan Sasuke. He has cleared the first stage 4 times in Spartan Sasuke, in tournaments 3, 7, 9, and in the last tournament, Tournament 10. Flame Vortex 03. He's a very consistent competitor. He's made it to the 3rd stage twice in Tournament 7 and 9. However, in the last tournament, he was not able to do that when he failed on the very last jump of the 2nd stage, going out on the triple reverse. Flame Vortex 03. Hoping to get back to the 3rd stage this tournament, just like back in Tournament 9. Let's see if Flame can do that today. Flame Vortex 03. Our other competitor in contention for All-Star. I bet there's a lot of pressure for him going into this tournament with that in mind. But Flame Vortex onto the Gunslinger. None of these obstacles on the first stage have ever been an issue for Flame. As he's nicely through the swing bridge. He almost comes up short in that 3rd ball, but he almost hits the jumping high too early. That could have cost him right there. Alright, he's onto the crooked wall. He said he was worried about this, but he's easily through it. Alright, 30 seconds left going into the warp wall. Up it in 1 onto the giant swing. These obstacles, no issue for Flame Vortex 03. Going into the vertical plank nicely. And Flame Vortex 03 is about to get his 5th first stage clear in Spartan Sasuke. And there's waiting for him at the top. And Flame clears with 8 seconds remaining. And Flame just knocks right off the platform. With Flame Vortex 03 becoming our 8th competitor in this tournament to clear the first stage. I'm not sure why everyone's trying to jump back to the giant swing. I'm not sure why they do that. Anyways, Flame Vortex 03, he almost came up short on the jumping kai, but that wouldn't matter as he would go on to clear the first stage.
I haven't done probably enough practice, but I didn't really practice enough for last tournament and I cleared. So I'm figuring I'm going to be all right.
Our next all-star to take on the course this tournament is Spartan Sasuke. Spartan Sasuke is considered to be the king of first stages, as he has cleared 9 out of 10 first stages in Spartan Sasuke, and currently holds the record for the most consecutive first stage clears and second stage clears as well. Spartan Sasuke has cleared the first stage in tournaments 5 through 10, 6 in a row, and then has cleared the second stage 4 times in a row, 7 through 10. Spartan Sasuke, considered one of the most consistent competitors in Spartan Sasuke. No, the most consistent competitor in Spartan Sasuke. Last tournament going out on the Crazy Cliffhanger for the second tournament in a row. And now, Spartan Sasuke, with every up-and-coming tournament, the pressure of keeping this successful streak alive always increases. That risk of failing always in Sauron's mind. He doesn't want that streak to end anytime soon. He hopefully doesn't want that to end today. However, he did tell me that he has been having connection issues with the crooked wall. Like, sometimes he will, like if he would hit the head slide, it wouldn't even launch him. Hopefully that won't be an issue today for Spartan Sasuke. Let's see, crooked wall. Can he get through it? This is the obstacle he's most worried about, and he's through it. Did you really think Sauron failed the crooked wall? He's the king of first stages. Of course he's not gonna fail the crooked wall. He's not. He's just not that kind of guy who would fail stage 1. Unless if it's tournament 4. He's not gonna fail stage 1. He's not gonna fail it. And Spartan Sasuke almost gets the fastest time. He clears with 19 seconds left on the clock. Almost getting the fastest time in the tournament. Spartan Sasuke, 7 first stage clears in a row and his 10th overall. Can you believe it? Spartan Sasuke, the king of the first stage on Spartan Sasuke, moving back on to the second stage.
Yeah, I like to go slow in this stage, so I'm probably, likely to clear maybe with maybe 6 seconds left or something. I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
The next to last competitor to take on the course this tournament is the first grand champion of Spartan Sasuke, Double Ump. He achieved that feat in Tournament 4 when he became the first grand champion of the course. His last appearance came in Tournament 9, where he was one of 5 to clear the first stage in that tournament, going out on the Crazy Cliffhanger. Double Ump. He missed Tournament 10, but now returns to Tournament 11. This guy has made it to the final stage more times than anyone. 3 final stages. He's the only competitor to make it to the final stage multiple times. Double Ump. Can he make it back there for his 4th time? That is the question. He currently ties the record for most consecutive third stage appearances, tournaments 3 through 5, along currently with Smoky Massacre, tournaments 8 through 10. Smoky Massacre will be running right after Ump, and will try to break Ump's former record. Anyways, Double Ump onto the crooked wall, 40 seconds left, footage going a little bit fast. Adobe hates me, so... Alright, Double Ump onto the warped wall, 30 seconds, and he's easily up it in 1. Double Ump onto the giant swing. He's only failed the first stage twice back in tournaments 1 and 6. But Double Ump is about to clear the first stage again. Double Ump getting his, I want to say 7 first stage clear. And with that, we now have double-digit clears. He's becoming our 10th competitor this tournament to clear the first stage. Double Ump with 8 seconds remaining on the clock. He's a little bit off of his prediction, but Double Ump nicely through the first stage Moving on to the second stage. Well done, Ump.
Well, as you can see, I'm rocking the holiday armor right now, so hopefully that'll give me a little boost in energy. But, I don't know, stage 1, it feels about the same difficulty as last time, so I'm hoping to match my performance from last tournament, but I know stage 1 can bite you when you least expect it, so I'm just gonna focus on each obstacle individually and hopefully get through this thing.
The final competitor to take on the first stage this tournament is the second grand champion of Spartan Sasuke and the current one, Smoky Massacre. Smoky Massacre, the host of Halo Ninja Warrior, currently holds the record for most consecutive first place finishes. In tournaments 8 through 10, Ump Double Ump, he ties that record with Ump Double Ump from tournaments 3 through 5. And that's something I forgot to mention in Ump's run. He held the record for most consecutive first place finishes. And Smoky Massacre will attempt to break Ump's record this tournament. Smoky Massacre has gotten first place in all the last 3 tournaments, including his total victory in Tournament 8. Smoky Massacre will be aiming for 4th first place in a row. It's gonna be tough, but can he do it again this tournament? Smoky Massacre's most anticipated run of Tournament 11 underway already. Smoky Massacre keeping very good control of that soccer ball as he moves on to the swing bridge into the first ball, the second ball, the third ball, the fourth ball, and he's through onto the jumping Kai. This should not be an issue for Smoky. He's easily dominating this first stage. Right now onto the crooked wall. This is what he failed back in Tournament 4. He almost comes up short, but he's through it nevertheless. Smoky up the warp wall in 1 onto the giant swing. Gets a good mount onto that bar. He gets to jump into the vertical plank. Yes, he does. And Smoky Massacre will become the 11th competitor to clear the first stage this tournament.
Well done.
11 clears this tournament. And that ties the amount of clears we had back in Tournament 2. The most amount of clears we've ever had in Spartan Sasuke. First time since Tournament 3 we've had double-digit clears. And Smoky Massacre adds on to that success as he'll be the 11th competitor moving on to the second stage of this tournament and the last this tournament. Well done to the grand champion Smoky Massacre. Before we move on to the second stage, let's look back at our Spartan Slayer. And the honor goes to the Dome Steps with 18 failures alone this tournament. That is the second most ever in a single tournament of Spartan Sasuke. Most of our competitors going out on the first step. That mount onto the first step, very tricky. That might possibly be the hardest first jump we've ever had on Spartan Sasuke. And our competitors just kept failing it left and right. And if you're one of these 18 competitors, don't be. Just please don't. And poor luck to our 18 competitors that failed the Dome Steps this tournament. And with that, we have 11 competitors moving on to the second stage this tournament. They are Mighty Max 80, clearing for his first time, Talking King SS1, Alpha Puma, DHG Fireball, Could Be Better, Weapon Mat, Strafe Helix, Flame Vortex 03, Sour and Suts, Ump Double Ump, and Smoky Massacre. These are your 11 competitors that have cleared the first stage in Spartan Sasuke 11. And now they'll be taking on the second stage of Spartan Sasuke. How will they do this tournament? We are about to find out. For these 11 competitors, their journey has only begun. It is time for the second stage. The second stage features the return of the straight salmon ladder and then followed after by a brand new obstacle, the wing nuts.
I'm feeling pretty good. I know the salmon ladder has been updated, and it's actually pretty difficult, and the backstream actually gives me some troubles. But besides those two, I feel pretty confident in getting to stage 3.
My practice went pretty well. Wasn't too bad. I mean, I got past the salmon ladder once on my practice, so I figured I'd beat the whole thing.
Same as I did last tournament, you know. One obstacle that always screws me up this time is the triple reverse. If I can get all those 3 jumps and get a jump in the backstream, I'll be pretty good.
Last one I found a backstream. This one I've been lagging a little. Now, my lag doesn't go well with script things, like the wing nuts, so hopefully my lag won't strike back and hopefully I'll be able to clear the second stage.
So I'm confident on basically everything except for the salmon ladder and triple reverse.
I'm feeling pretty good. I've been stringing stage 2 clears lately, and despite a severe lack of preparation on my part for this tournament, I feel like I have the ability alone just to carry me through, and hopefully experience will be on my side, so we'll see.
Yeah, probably gonna clear with like 7 seconds left or something.
Well, I've never failed stage 2, which to me isn't a reason to be comfortable. That's just one more thing to be worried about, because the last thing I want to do is take this stage for granted and then fail it in a stupid way. So I'm gonna pretend like I've never been to stage 2 before, like I'm trying to make the most of my attempt here, and hopefully that will get me through to the 3rd stage.
The second stage of Spartan Sasuke. 6 obstacles with a time limit of 85 seconds. That's 15 seconds more than the last tournament. However, these new additions to the second stage will justify that longer time limit. And first of the 11 to take on the second stage of this tournament is Mighty Max 80. He's the only of these 11 to take on the second stage for his first time. So let's see how he does. Through the first obstacle, downhill jump, and he's the first to face this new version of the salmon ladder. It's the first time since the tournament before we had the straight salmon ladder, and this has been completely redesigned since then. Mighty Max not doing very well here on the salmon ladder. I'm trying to get these perfect crouches down. He's slipping up quite a lot. This is going to cost him some time, but he'll be the first to face this new obstacle, the wing nuts. And Mighty Max easily threw that onto the spider walk. And he's doing very well at the moment. It looks like he's been trained well in the Vulcan Academy of Tryhards. He's a top student in that academy, and it's serving him well here on the second stage. He's already on to the batch stream. 30 seconds left. Batch stream unchanged from last tournament. He's going to try the same technique that Siren used in the last tournament that failed him. This is a little risky, and no, he comes up short. Mighty Max 80 out on the batch stream. Alright, let's see how his friend Talking King SS1 fares. Last tournament, Talking King failed the escape launch. However, that's no longer here. It's now been replaced with the wing nuts. So let's see how Talking King will do. 85 seconds to get through 6 obstacles. Talking King, he is off on the second stage into the salmon ladder. He said he was a little bit worried about this obstacle, and he doesn't get up that. He's not doing very good at the moment. He's kind of taking a forward approach. He's kind of risky, but if it's serving him well, then fine. Alright, on to the wing nuts. If he gets past this, he'll set himself a personal best. Talking King going a little bit slow here in a moment. Oh, he probably would have wanted to go there. He's only down to less than 50 seconds. Doesn't have a lot of time left. Come on, this is the second stage. It's the stage of speed. You gotta go. You can't go slow. You just gotta go sometimes, Talking King. Alright. Ooh, he's resting. He may not have enough time left to clear now. Talking King, you gotta go quicker than this, man. Come on. If you safe jumping, you don't want to do that. You just gotta go sometimes. This isn't practice. This is your actual run. You just gotta wing it. He's already down to less than 20 seconds. He just got into the bad stream. He's not gonna have enough time left to clear, but can he at least get through the batch stream unlike Mighty Max? Yes, he will. Onto the triple reverse. Gets through the first bouncer, and he's out of time. Talking Gene SS1 out of time on the triple reverse. Tough luck. Alright, next up we have the first 5 All-Stars to take on the second stage, Alpha Puma. And this is the first time ever that all the All-Stars have cleared the first stage. That's ever since the rank was introduced in Tournament 5. So that is impressive on its own. Alright, Alpha Puma, who almost overshot that first bar on the salmon ladder. Alright, Puma onto the... Oh no, he stepped off! Oh, Puma is out on the salmon ladder. And that is the earliest exit we've ever seen on the second stage. As he got up to his 4th bar, he just kind of slipped off. That is a shame to see Puma go out that early on the second stage. Hopefully that won't put any pressure on our next competitor, DHG Fireball. 85 seconds. Can he be our first competitor through the second stage of this tournament? Alright, he's onto the salmon ladder. He might be feeling a little bit of pressure after seeing Puma fail that. But Fireball blazing through the salmon ladder, getting every jump in one attempt. That is amazing run by Fireball. Only one swing on the wing nuts. This is how you want to do the second stage right here. This is how fast you want to be going. Alright, DHG Fireball onto the spider walk. Right, he's about halfway through. Fireball through this. He's into the batch stream. This is his first time seeing most of these obstacles, so Fireball making the most of it. He's onto that pole nicely. And Fireball's through the batch stream onto the triple reverse. We'll see if he can get through this. He's gone for the first one. Onto the second one. You want to land in different spots on each one. Alright, he's taking a little bit of rest to going into the third one. This is by far the hardest one. And Fireball gets through it. And he is the first to move on to the third stage this tournament. DHG Fireball clearing with 15 seconds remaining on the clock. DHG Fireball moving back on to the third stage this tournament. Well done to DHG Fireball. Absolutely blazing through this salmon ladder to clear the second stage this tournament. Well done to Fireball. Next up we have Could Be Better, otherwise known as Filthy Phil, or iGameType, whatever you want to call him. Could Be Better. This is his second time on the second stage. His first was back in Tournament 9 when he failed the batch stream. Let's see how Phil will do here on the salmon ladder. Taking a bit of a slower approach than Fireball, but he's giving every jump in one attempt, which really matters and really helps save time if you get every jump in one attempt. Alright, Phil nicely through the wing nuts. That new obstacle hasn't proven to be much of a threat so far. Could Be Better onto the spider walk. He made it through this in Tournament 9. Shouldn't be an issue for him here. However, this obstacle might be the batch stream. Let's see. He's into the pole nicely. And out of the batch stream he goes. And wait, why did he just leave the party in the middle of his run? I have no idea. He might have disconnected, who knows. But he's making the most out of this triple reverse nevertheless. Lining up for the third bouncer. And Could Be Better moving on to the third stage for his first time in Spartan Sasuke. Could Be Better making the most out of this run, getting past the batch stream that he failed in Tournament 9, going to the third stage. Well done, Filthy Phil. Alright, next up we have the veteran Weapon Matt. Weapon Matt has never made it to the third stage. this tournament. He had the fastest time on the first stage. So let's see if he can have just as much as a dominating performance here on the second stage. With Matt spring jumping these bars, he's absolutely dominating these. Ooh, a little bit of a slip up going into that 7th bar, but he's onto the wing nuts nevertheless. Getting a good swing going into that second one. It's a nice landing onto the spider walk now. What Matt made it through this obstacle in the last tournaments. He failed the backstream, so hopefully this obstacle won't be an issue for him. Oh no, he slipped off! No! Oh, after such a dominating performance on the first stage, slips off on the spider walk. That is a shame to see Weapon Matt go out like that. Alright, next up we have Stray Felix. Like Weapon Matt, he also failed the backstream in the previous tournament. But can Stray Felix get through the second stage unlike Weapon Matt this tournament? Well, he almost overshoots that first bar in the salmon ladder. That could have been a disaster. He's spring jumping these just like Weapon Matt and absolutely dominated that salmon ladder. You don't have to spring jump those, Strafe. But, I mean, he is the founder of the Vulcan Academy of Tryhard, so how can you blame him? Alright, he's onto the spider walk. Alright, hopefully he won't pull a Weapon Matt here on this obstacle, and he does not. Stray Felix, plenty of time going into the backstream. I probably should make this time limit much tougher next tournament. But Stray Felix is jumping failed in the last tournament onto that little pole, but he gets through it, and today Stray Felix onto the triple reverse. This is his first time on this obstacle. Let's see how he'll do here. Alright, 20 seconds left. Should have enough time. Lines himself up for the third bouncer, and he's going to move on to the third stage. 12 seconds remaining on the clock. And Stray Felix dominating performance here on the second stage. Look at him go here on the salmon ladder. Getting spring jumps on every bar. That is just absolutely insane. Founder of the Vulcan Academy of Tryhards, putting his skills to use here on the second stage. Moving on to the third stage for his first time since Tournament 8. Alright, 4 competitors left to go now. Next up we have Flame Vortex 03. If all of our next 4 competitors clear, we could possibly set a clear record here on the second stage. The current record is 6, which is tied for Tournament 7 and 8. Flame Vortex 03. Last tournament he failed the third bouncer of the triple reverse, looking to get revenge here on the second stage. He's using the spring jump technique like Stray Felix. Both him and Flame in contention for the spot of All-Star. Whether Flame clears the second stage or not could very well determine who gets the next All-Star spot. Possibly in the next tournament, who knows. Flame Vortex 03 onto the spider walk. He's almost through the obstacle. Ooh, he almost slips off that block, but Flame Vortex 03 onto the backstream nevertheless. Flame Vortex 03 hates this obstacle in real Sasuke because it involves swimming, and Flame Vortex going for the siren technique. He's never been successful, but Flame Vortex first to make that technique successful. Ooh, he almost slips off that first one, but is on to the second one. Flame, he slides it. Oh no, no! Flame, no, he's out! Why did he do that? Flame, he rushed it. He's out on the triple reverse again. He had plenty of time. There's absolutely no need to rush it. He slid into it way too early. No. Ah, Flame. Come on. Alright, 3 competitors left to go now. Next up, the All-Star Sauron Sucks. He has not failed the second stage since Tournament 6. hopefully that won't change today. Spartan Sasuke getting nice jumps onto the salmon ladder. Ooh, comes up short on that 7th one, but nice throw. What is he doing here on the wing nuts? He's swinging it back and forth. This might cost him some time a little. Sauron. Ooh, he almost comes up short there, but Sauron taking a little bit of time. He may want to pick up the pace going into this spider walk here. Sauron drops down. It's about halfway through the obstacle. Taking his time. Still has enough time left as he exits the spider walk. 30 seconds left now as he enters the backstream. And the reason I have that letter A there is to remind competitors to press the A button to prevent themselves from getting false bounce. Anyways, Spartan Sasuke, he's only down to 15 seconds. He's gonna want to pick it up here on the triple reverse. This is the obstacle that we just saw Flame go out on. Sauron gets a good bounce on that 3rd one, and Sauron clears with more than a second remaining on the clock. That was a bit of a close call, but Spartan Sasuke becomes the 4th competitor this tournament to move on to the 2nd stages tournament. He used a bit of a risky technique on the wing nuts, slicing it earlier, but he still managed to pull it off. It was a bit of a time waster, but he still had enough time with the lenient time limit to move on to the 3rd stages tournament. Speed, definitely something you'll probably need to work on next tournament, because I'm definitely going to make the time limit much tougher next tournament. Alright, 2 competitors left to go here on the 2nd stage. Next up, double ump. 85 seconds to get through 6 obstacles. Ump through the downhill jump. Nobody has ever failed that obstacle. Might want to consider replacing that next tournament. What is he doing here on the salmon ladder? He's taking a backwards technique here. Ump has been known for coming up with his crazy techniques before, and it pays off here on the salmon ladder onto the wing nut. Gets a good jump into that 2nd one, and he moves on to the spider walk with 52 seconds left. The 2nd jump, 3rd. Looks down into the 4th, lining himself up for the 5th. Looking into the 6th, the 1 weapon that failed. Alright, on to the 7th and the 8th, and ump is through. He only has 35 seconds left though. You might want to pick up the pace here on the back stream. Alright, ump going to that pole right there. Not wanting to take the risky Chris technique. Alright, ump double ump onto the triple reverse. Good bounce onto that 1st one. 2nd one nicely. Alright, into the 3rd one. Ump double ump gets the safe jump in. No ump! No, cue the sad music! No! Ump is out on the triple reverse. He had the safe jump, and he's out on the triple reverse. Oh, what happened there? Oh no, he came so close. He had the safe jump, but he slipped off. No, ump! And he has failed the 2nd stage for his 1st time since tournament 2. Both times going out on the last obstacle. Ump double ump. Let's see what went wrong here on this 3rd bouncer. Let's see. It looked like he would have gotten through it nicely. He gets the safe jump, but he doesn't get enough momentum to recover from that, and he fails. That is a shame to see ump go out like that. Well, hopefully our last competitor doesn't repeat that same mistake. Smoky Massacre. Smoky Massacre has never failed the 2nd stage in Spartan Sasuke. Let's see if he can continue that streak here today. Smoky Massacre through the downhill jump onto the salmon ladder. Alright, let's see how he fares against this obstacle. We saw Puma earlier fail this, but Smoky gets through it nicely onto the wing nuts. This obstacle has not been an issue for any of our competitors, and it's not going to be. Nobody fails our new obstacle. Bit of a shame right there. Alright, spider walk. Smoky going into the 6th ledge, 7th, 8th,
and Smoky's onto the back stream. Alright, Smoky Massacre, 42 seconds left, has plenty of time left here on the second stage. Not taking any risks here on the back stream. Going into the triple reverse, going for the fastest time here on the second stage. DHC Fireball had that earlier with 15 seconds left. Let's see if Smoky can beat that, and it looks like he is. If he can get this jump on the triple reverse, and he does. 18 seconds remaining on the clock. That's the fastest time here on the second stage this tournament, and 5 people will be moving on to the third stage this tournament. That is the second most ever that we've ever had on Spartan Sasuke. Smoky Massacre with a dominating performance on the second stage. He's never failed the second stage before on Spartan Sasuke, and this is why. Smoky Massacre moving on to the third stage. And with that, we'll have 5 competitors moving on to the third stage this tournament. DHC Fireball, Could Be Better, Strafe Helix, Spartan Sasuke, and Smoky Massacre. These 5 competitors are about to face their toughest challenge yet, the third stage. It has not been defeated since Tournament 8. Will that change today? We're about to find out. Let's enter the third stage.
I guess I feel 50-50 on the stage. Definitely not as confident as I did on stage 1 and 2. I feel like I could do pretty good, but I don't know, anything could happen.
In practice, I got to the devil steps like 3 times out of about 40, and that's close to 50%. So figured, I'll probably have a good chance of making it all the way.
Last time I failed the pipe slider back in tournament 8 when I was on the stage, and kind of was set up. So the first half should be alright for me. It's just the back half I'm going to be a bit rusty at, so just have to wait and see.
Not good. Not good. The wise man once said it's gonna be tough, so I guess we'll see how this goes, and I'm probably gonna fail the cliffhanger again. I'll be real with you. That thing is very, very difficult.
Well, I feel pretty good. I mean, it's always really nice to get to stage 3. I say stage 3 is the one stage I feel like I can fail and still know that I actually had a pretty decent tournament, although getting to the final stage does make it a little extra special. So I failed it twice in a row. I think I got one obstacle further in the last time than I did in the previous tournament, so hopefully I can improve upon that and maybe take it a couple steps further, get back to the final stage. That would be a very nice feeling, but it's stage 3, it's really difficult, so who knows what's going to happen.
The third stage of Spartan Sasuke. There's one new obstacle on this stage, the giant cubes, replacing the needler that was seen in the previous 3 tournaments. But with 5 people on the third stage, most ever in the Grand Renewal, will today finally be the day where we put a man on the final stage for the first time since Tournament 8? We are about to find out. First to go will be the All-Star DHG Fireball. DHG Fireball will face 8 of the hardest obstacles on this course, beginning with the drum hopper. He's taking a very fast approach here on this drum hopper, and it paid off here onto the flying shelf grab. This obstacle has been slightly nerfed since last tournament. Jumps are a bit closer now, but Fireball easily through the flying shelf grab. The obstacle was introduced in the last tournament onto the devil steps. 18 skulls, 12 going up, 6 going down. Let's see how Fireball does. This is the obstacle that took out Flame Vortex in Tournament 9. Let's see if Fireball can beat that. Alright, he's on to the last skull. And now must make the jump into the head slide. For 6 going down. Fireball. It's each safe jump nicely.
Going into that 17th one, that one's the hardest, but Fireball going down to that head slide to defeat the Devil Steps onto the Crazy Cliffhanger. This obstacle has only been defeated by one competitor, Smoky Massacre. He defeated it 2 times in both tournaments 9 and 10. Fireball gets to jump into the 3rd ledge nicely, and now must make the backwards jump to the 4th ledge. Fireball gets it, but he's gotta stick the ledge if he wants to get enough momentum to reach the dismount, and Fireball becomes only the 2nd different competitor to defeat the Crazy Cliffhanger. That is absolutely insane right there. He is on to the back half of the stage, and he's only the 1st competitor to take on this tournament. Fireball made it to the final stage in Tournament 8. Can he do it again in this tournament? He's on to the ultimate body prop. This is where Smokey failed in Tournament 9. It's just like the old body prop we saw back in Stage 2, way back in Tournaments 3 and 4, but amplified to the max. These last 3 the hardest. Fireball, 1 more to go. Looking to the dismount, and he's through the ultimate body prop. Onto the vertical limit. No competitor has ever defeated this obstacle, and it has been nerfed since we last saw it in tournaments 9 and 10. Fireball, can he be the 1st ever competitor to get through the vertical limit since its introduction in Tournament 9? Alright, 1 more to go. The yellow block there to indicate it's the last one. And Fireball into uncharted territory. Beginning with this brand new giant cubes. This obstacle was just introduced in this tournament. Had he made it here in either previous 2 tournaments, he would have faced the Needler. It will be the 1st ever competitor to attempt the giant cubes. He has to safe jump across 2 sets of cubes, and must perform very tricky corner jumps along the way. Alright, now looking into the transfer to the next set. And it is a 4 jump. Unlike the Crazy Cliffhanger, Fireball gets that mountain nicely onto the 2nd set. Fireball, 1 more corner jump left before he beats the giant cubes. He never made it this far in practice. Everything he's doing here is blind. And DHG Fireball, 1 obstacle away from reaching the final stage. This is it, the pipe slider. This obstacle was introduced in Tournament 8. He beat it in Tournament 8. Can he do it again? Can he get back to the final stage for his 2nd time in a row? Fireball is taking his time here on this pipe. Doesn't want to make a simple mistake here on this final obstacle. He never made it this far in practice, so this could be an issue for him. Fireball nearing the end of the track. And Fireball drops down. The music stops. Everyone's holding their breath. Can DHG Fireball make it to the final stage? He rests a little. He's very worried about this jump. He has failed final jumps before. Hopefully he won't add this one to the list. Fireball, he's taking a lot of time to rest. He lines up for the jump. Fireball, backs up. No, Fireball! No, he backs up too much. He's out. No! No, Fireball! He backed up way too much. He did exactly what he did in Tournament 15 of Smoky Massacre's course. Oh, no! He's out on the final jump. Ah! No! Fireball had an otherwise dominating performance here on the 3rd stage, making every other jump look absolutely easy. This is not as easy as it looks, guys. I can assure you this is the hardest 3rd stage I've ever had. He was able to defeat every jump except for the final jump. He just backed up way too much. He was fine right there, but he backed up even more and it cost him. Oh, that is an absolute shame to see Fireball fail in that way. Fireball clearly not happy about that failure. We all know he wanted to get back to the final stage. He could have possibly even become the 3rd Grand Champion had he made it there, but today will not be his day. Fireball out on the final jump of the pipe slider.
That's absolutely shocking to see Fireball fail like that. Well, after that, we still have 4 more competitors looking to overcome that jump. Next up, we have Could Be Better taking on the 3rd stage for his first ever time. How will Could Be Better do here on the 3rd stage? He'll face 8 obstacles beginning with the drum hopper. He's taking a much more careful approach with this drum hopper, unlike Fireball. Could Be Better into the 3rd one. Take a lot of safe jumps here. You want to be close to the edge of the window before transferring to the next one. Could Be Better. Gets into the 5th one. He's can make the dismount now. Come on, you don't have to safe jump that many times. There you go. Alright, into the flying shelf grab. Let's see how he does on this obstacle. He's never seen any of these obstacles before. Into the 2nd ledge. Alright, looking into the 3rd one. Could Be Better. No, he doesn't get a jump. He's out. Oh, and he's failed the flying shelf grab. Even though it has been nerfed this tournament, it just still comes to show that this is one of the most difficult obstacles on the stage. And it's very early on the stage too. Alright, let's see how Stray Felix does. Last time he was out on the 3rd stage, he failed the pipe slider. He failed getting into the pipe. He landed on the pipe but slipped right off. He beat the stage back in Tournament 7. But this is his first time taking on this version of the 3rd stage. 7 out of the 8 obstacles on the stage unfamiliar to Stray Felix. Alright, on to the flying shelf grab. We just saw Phil go out on this obstacle going straight for the 2nd shelf. Not taking really much time to rest, but Stray Felix gets through the flying shelf grab nevertheless. On to the devil steps. Let's see how he does. 12 going up, 6 going down. Stray Felix taking a careful approach with each one. He's starting to pick up the pace a little halfway through the devil steps. He's on to the 8th one, the 9th, 10th, 11th, and the 12th one. That lights have been set up on that 12th one to indicate that it is indeed the last goal. Alright, Stray Felix into the down section now. This is where Flame failed back in Tournament 9. Hopefully he won't make the same mistake. Stray Felix. Oh no, he slips off! He pulled a Flame. He safe jumped way too early. Yeah, if you safe jump a little early, you will slip off like that. Oh, but that might have been a little late actually. He wasn't able to recover. That is a shame to see Vulcan fail like that. Well, we're only down to 2 competitors now. Next up, the All-Star Spartan Sasuke. This is his 5th time in a row on the 3rd stage. He's never made it to the final stage. And in both of the last 2 tournaments, he failed the Crazy Cliffhanger. And he also failed the Ultimate Cliffhanger back in Tournament 7. Let's see if Spartan Sasuke has what it takes to get his first 3rd stage clear. Become the 6th different competitor to clear the 3rd stage. Will that be this tournament? Who knows? Spartan Sasuke on to the flying shelf grab. A little worried about this obstacle, but he's nicely through it onto the devil steps. We just saw Stray Felix go out on this. Hopefully he won't make the same error. He's never failed the devil steps, so hopefully this won't be an issue for Sauron today. Sauron sucks. 2 more skulls left. 1 more, and he's at the top. And going backwards on that head slide there. Now he's into the down section. Ooh, he almost comes up short on that 15th skull, but now for the skull that Vulcan failed, and Sauron has beaten the devil steps onto that little head slide. Now for the obstacle he's most worried about, the Crazy Cliffhanger. He's never made it past this version of the Cliffhanger. Come on, Sauron. Don't become another Asakazuma. Beat the Crazy Cliffhanger. You could become better than him. Alright. He's on to the Crazy Cliffhanger. In Tournament 9, he failed to jump into the second ledge. In Tournament 10, he failed to jump into the third ledge. Let's see how Sauron will do here today. Sauron gets to jump into the second one. Ooh, he's a little bit stuck there. He's going to have to get the short hop if he wants to stick it, though. Alright, gets that short hop nicely. On to the third one. Yes! Yes, he's on to the third ledge. And now for the backwards transition to the fourth ledge. Can Spartan Sasuke become only the third different competitor to get through the Crazy Cliffhanger? Sauron goes for it. No! No, Sauron, he comes up short. No, he didn't get quite enough distance going into the Crazy Cliffhanger. Didn't quite get enough speed to make that jump, and he is out on the Crazy Cliffhanger again. Well, it all comes down to Smoky Massacre again. Third tournament in a row where Smoky's the last man standing. Smoky Massacre has failed the stage in both tournaments 9 and 10. Spartan Sasuke, if he wants to get his fourth first place finish in a row, if he wants to set the record, he's going to have to at least attempt the final jump on the pipe slider. But that is easier said than done, getting through all these difficult obstacles. But if anyone can do it, Smoky Massacre surely can. We've seen it before. We can hopefully surely see it again this tournament. Easily through the flying shelf grab. Onto the devil steps. Let's see how he does here. The first half of the third stage has never been an issue for Smoky Massacre in this Grand Renewal. It has been back when it was the Mondu stage, but not really anymore. Alright, Smoky Massacre. Using the technique he does is a bit risky, but it is paying off for him. We almost slipped off that 17th skull, but nice recovery out of Smoky Massacre. Alright, on to this obstacle that Sauron just failed, the Crazy Cliffhanger. He's never failed this, but this is always a hard obstacle. He's never failed it, but you cannot underestimate this very tricky obstacle. Yes, the safe jump onto the third ledge nicely. Onto the jump, Sauron just failed the fourth one. Yes! Smoky trying to get the short hop, and he does. Smoky Massacre. Wait, have I been calling him Sauron? My deepest apologies if I have. Alright, Smoky Massacre. On to the ultimate body prop. This is where he failed back in Tournament 9. Smoky making good work going into the 8th one, the 9th, the 10th, and now for the hardest 3, the 11th. Going back and forth, onto the 12th one, 13th one, he's on to the last one, looking into the dismount, and now for the vertical limit. This is where he failed in Tournament 10. Can he overcome the obstacle today? He almost comes up short on that second one, but nice mount into the third one. Fourth almost comes up short there. Alright, one more for Smoky. Yes, he gets to jump into it, and Smoky's through the vertical limit. On to the new giant cubes. How will Smoky do here? It's that nice corner jump around there. Smoky, okay, one more corner jump before the transition. And Smoky Massacre gets the transition into the second cube. Alright, a couple more corner jumps left to go. Alright, one more now. Smoky Massacre goes for the corner jump, and ooh, almost comes up short there. But Smoky Massacre is through the giant cubes. Alright, this is it. One obstacle left, the pipe slider. If he fails here, it's all over. Nobody will be moving. Oh, he almost comes up short. He almost comes up short there. That could have cost him everything. The Smoky Massacre on to the pipe slider. He's nearing the end of the track. He's at the end of the track now. He dismounts from the pipe. The music stops. It's all or nothing. Smoky! No! No, Smoky! No! No! It's over! No! Tournament 11! Oh my god!
It's over! Smoky Massacre has failed the final jump! Oh no! No! He could have easily made it to the final stage. He failed the final jump. I don't believe it. Smoky Master had an absolutely dominating performance on the third stage up to this point, but it was all for naught. Smoky Massacre fails the final jump of the pipe slider. It is good enough to set the record for most consecutive first place finishes. However, after getting to that final jump, we all know we wanted to see Smoky back on the final stage, potentially get 2 total victories. But it will not be this tournament. Smoky Massacre out on the final jump. He doesn't get the jump successfully, and it's game over. Smoky Massacre out on the final jump.
Game over.
No one will be moving on to the final stage for the 3rd tournament in a row. That is an absolute shame. And with that, we have come to the end of Tournament 11. 50 competitors have come to take on Tournament 11 and Spartan Sasuke. However, all 50 competitors have failed without a single competitor moving on to the final stage. And this has set the longest drought without a final stage in Spartan Sasuke. Our competitors will need to come back in Tournament 12 more prepared than ever if they want to get to the final stage, because every tournament from here on will only get tougher for our competitors. Could we see someone get to the final stage next tournament? We'll find out. I'm RPG445. We'll see you then. Farewell, nerdies and nerds.